Hello everyone, welcome back to Twilight Tales. If you're brave enough to listen alone, make sure the lights are off, your door is slightly open, and your room clock reads exactly 3 a.m. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you never know when these stories might start following you back. Let's get into it. It started with the humming, a soft, tuneless hum drifting through the cracked hallway walls of a one-bedroom apartment on the east side of Manchester. Riley had moved there only a week ago. Cheap rent, old building, creepy landlord. Nothing too unusual. Until the third night. That night, Riley had been editing photos for a freelance gig. Headphones on until the battery blinked red. She took them off and heard it, low, distant, humming, like someone was trying to remember a lullaby they'd long forgotten. She paused, listened, and chalked it up to the neighbors. Thin walls, old place, not her business. But then it happened, again, and again, always at the same time. 3 a.m. She didn't sleep that night. By the fifth night, Riley had a new routine. She'd leave a cup of tea on the bedside, sit in the corner with a blanket, and wait. As soon as the clock flipped to 3, the humming would begin. Closer this time, more distinct, and then the shadow came. At first, it was just movement in the corner of her eye. Subtle shifts in the dark edges of the room. A figure that never quite solidified. But every time she blinked, it seemed just a little closer. Like a frame skipped in a horror movie. She told herself she was tired, overworked, that her imagination was playing tricks on her. But Riley had never been the imaginative type. Practical, skeptical, real. Until that thing touched her. It was the 8th night when she made the mistake of turning on her phone light at 3:01 a.m. just to prove to herself it was nothing. That she could shine light into the shadows and watch them disappear. They didn't. The beam of her phone trembled in her grip as it swept across the room and froze. In the far corner, just by the closet, the light hit something solid, blacker than black, a humanoid shape. It didn't move, but the humming got louder, more aggressive, like it was inside her skull, vibrating behind her eyes. Her heartbeat climbed her throat as she backed toward the bed, never breaking eye contact with that twisted, motionless form. Then it stepped forward, just once. One heavy, deliberate footstep that echoed like a war drum in her tiny room. Riley screamed. The light flickered and died, silence. When she woke, the sun was up. She was lying on the floor, face pressed into the carpet, phone dead beside her. She checked the clock. 10:23 a.m. Had she passed out? Was it a dream? She touched her wrist and felt something rough. Burns. 2 blackened fingerprints circled her wrist like a brand. She ran to the hospital. The nurse said it looked like a thermal burn. Asked her if she'd touched a curling iron or a stovetop. Riley said nothing. What was she supposed to say? I think the 3 a.m. shadow ghost that hums lullabies burned me in my sleep. She returned, home that afternoon to find the landlord waiting for her outside her door. Did you see it? He asked before she could say anything. Riley froze. He scratched his neck nervously. You look like someone who's seen it. What the hell are you talking about? The shadow, the one that lives between 3 and 3:33. I've rented this flat a long time. People don't last long. You rented me a haunted apartment? It's cheap, he said, shrugging. And it doesn't kill you, usually. She slammed the door on him. That night she tried to stay up again, but she'd started hearing the humming before 3 a.m. now. It crept into her dreams, followed her in her sleep. The burns had spread. Now, a black imprint stretched across her collarbone like someone had grabbed her with burning fingers. And the shadow? It was bolder. It would move when she looked at it now, tilting its head like it was studying her. She tried to talk to it once, whispered, "What do you want?" It whispered back. But the voice didn't come from the corner. It came from inside her closet. Low, gravelly, wrong. Let me in. She sealed the closet shut with duct tape and shoved her dresser against it. Didn't work. The next night, she heard the sound of tearing, like meat being pulled apart. She watched, paralyzed, as the tape slowly peeled on its own, one strip at a time. Then the dresser scraped an inch to the left, as if pushed by a wind that didn't exist. Let me in. It was inside the room now. She began staying with a friend after that. Eli, a chill graphic designer who lived 3 blocks away and didn't believe in ghosts. Until he did. 2 days after Riley crashed on his couch, Eli woke her up at 3:02 a.m., his face pale, his eyes wide. "Did you bring it with you?" he whispered. Her blood turned to ice. "What did you hear?" He didn't answer, because the humming had started again. But it wasn't coming from inside the apartment. It was coming from his phone that was turned off and lying across the room. A low, distorted lullaby looping endlessly from the dead device. Eli tried to pick it up. It burned his hand. They both ran. They called a priest. He refused to come when he heard the time it always appeared. "Not a demon," he said. "Something older. Something that doesn't belong here." "What do we do?" Riley begged. He paused, then said, "Don't look at it. Don't speak to it. Don't let it follow you." Too late for that. By the second week, Riley was losing her mind, sleep-deprived, covered in burns. The shadow was growing, stretching, filling her dreams with endless black corridors and humming that came from behind every door. One night she tried to leave the city, grabbed a train, anywhere far, anywhere not there. She made it 45 minutes before. The train screeched to a halt in the middle of nowhere. "Power outage," the conductor said. Everyone sat quietly until the humming began. Not from the train, from outside, in the fields, in the darkness that surrounded them like an ocean of night. Passengers panicked. Riley curled up in her seat and covered her ears, but the sound wormed its way in. Always. When the lights came back on, the man sitting next to her was missing. His seat was empty, his luggage untouched, his coat folded neatly beside a black, charred handprint on the window. She stopped running. After that, she decided to face it. That night at exactly 3 a.m., she sat cross-legged in the middle of her room, all lights off. No protection, just her and the shadow. When the humming started, she didn't flinch. When the closet door creaked open, she didn't move. When the shadow stepped out, all elongated limbs and pitch-black skin like smoke trapped, In glass, she stared it down. It stepped closer and closer until it was inches from her face. She whispered, "What are you?" It tilted its head. "You let me in." A sudden flash of memories hit her. The first night, when she moved in, she'd found a little mirror in the closet. Dusty, old. She'd wiped it clean and whispered, "Let's make this place feel like home." She didn't know. The mirror had been a gateway, an invitation. And now the thing had come through. She screamed and smashed the mirror with a chair. The shadow screamed back. The whole apartment shook. Lights exploded. The air grew thick like smoke. She crawled to the bathroom and slammed the door, locked it. The humming stopped. The shadow didn't come that night, or the next. The burns faded. Riley moved out. But every night now at 3 a.m., her phone lights up on its own and hums. You've been listening to Twilight Tales. If your shadows start moving tonight, don't say we didn't warn you. Hit that like button, share it with your bravest friend, and subscribe if you're still breathing. Sleep tight. Or try to.